Well, welcome to the Business Spotlight series. My name is Heather Frierson, and I'm your host of the Business Spotlight podcast. And today I have Brent Shives, the co-founder of Brightside Detailing. And he's going to share all about his entrepreneurial journey, his challenges and best practices, and really just give you a sneak peek of what it's like to own and operate a business. So if this is your first time to the channel, please be sure to like and subscribe to get a notification every time a new show drops, just like this one. Well, Brent, welcome to the show. I'm so glad you're here.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Well, if you could just give us a little bit of background about who you are and how you really found your business.
Yeah, I could probably talk all day on that one, but just kind of short and sweet. I've lived in Austin for 20 years. I started my career off with actually hotels. Now I was in hotels for literally 20 plus years. And when COVID hit, I had to let go of 99% of my staff. One of the worst things I've ever gone through in my life. My wife and I looked at each other because I was working literally nonstop in the hotels, and she's like, "You're going to start your own business." We had a Christmas morning when we have a little 4-year-old that daddy had to go to work and not get to really experience Christmas morning. And she got real upset. And then we had our New Year's party where I got called into work and had to go into work and deal with stuff. And she said, "You're quitting your job and we're starting a company." And so, yeah, we actually looked into franchises, and we probably you'll probably have another question of what are some of the hardest times in my life, but yeah, we actually started a franchise. Some things went wrong, and then we broke off and opened up Brightside Detailing, and that's where we're at today.
Wow. I have to say, wife knows best. They know when it's time.
Yeah, to have that support system, it's kind of crucial sometimes,
Yes. If we learn
Absolutely
nothing else
crucial.
in the show, our audience needs to hear wife knows best. But it's
Yeah.
smart just to, and not only to have a partner like that. You did mention before we started that she's your co-founder, and I want to get into that. But to be able to have that support system and know like now's the time, and you both agree. And so I want to know, how did you know it was time besides that? But also you said you looked at several franchises. Why this one?
Yeah, so this actually isn't a franchise. So
Okay.
this is my wife and I own company. So we actually started off with No H2O, which was still a detailing company. We went with No H2O at the time. I don't want to get on too much about No
Yeah.
H2O, but we went with that franchise at the time because I love cars. I've always loved cars. I'm a motorcycle rider. Cars, grew up around cars, dad working on cars, all of that. So I was like, oh, so this model kind of really fit us and what I do. I'm not I'm a service. I've been in the service industry my whole life, right? Like and can talk and it was always in operations and things like that. So when we looked at franchise, looked at different things, we looked at kind of more the service business.
Mhm.
Um and so we went with that franchise, No H2O, and some things really didn't work out. I'll just go ahead and say the founder of No H2O basically took all of our money and
No.
everything we had, and basically ran off. And
Oh my goodness.
there was like 20, about 28 of us. The board members, like one of the board members was like the founder of I think Five Guys or something like that, one of the big burger chains or whatever.
Yeah.
Basically, he took all of our money and ran. And
Oh my
so
goodness.
my wife and I, yeah, it was just destroyed us. And my wife and I
Sorry.
um broke off and started Brightside Detailing, and that's where Brightside Detailing came about. So yeah.
Talking about hanging in there. I mean, and having to keep going because there's no other choice almost.
Listen, so I'm going to go into a quick little funny story, okay,
Yeah.
and why my company's called Brightside. So one of the years, that it was like 2 or 3 years ago, when the airport was going absolutely insanely crazy, right? Like,
Mhm.
we showed up 2 hours before our flight. It took us an hour and a half to get into the check-in desk, and they looked at us and were like, "You're not going to make your flight. We're flying into Detroit to go see your family who's never met our son because of COVID and all that sort of stuff, right?" So my wife looked at me, and I already knew on her face what she's going to say. She's like, because they couldn't get us on a flight from like tomorrow or whatever, but we had to be up in Detroit. She's like, you want to drive? And I was like, absolutely. We get in the car and we both look at each other. We're like, hey, bright side, like bright side. We're always going to look. And that's kind of our motto. We always look at the bright side of things in life. And so when No H2O took all of our money, ran, left me high and dry, zero, nothing. And this was, after what, a year? My wife and I looked at each other and was like, let's look at the bright side. And that's how we kind of came up with the name Brightside Detailing. But you want to talk about battling through? Ooh.
What did you learn through that season? Of course, look at the bright side, but even as a businessman, what did you learn?
So I learned I shouldn't have gone through a franchise, but like this is kind of surface level, and I'll go in deeper. Surface level, I learned real fast I shouldn't have gone with the franchise because I like making decisions. My wife and I are very headstrong people. And I don't like taking orders, which I don't know how I made it in the hotel industry as long as I did, but we don't like taking orders. And then like real deep stuff, honestly, being able to trust in myself more than trusting on somebody else. Like I can build my own foundation. I don't need a franchise to build a foundation for me. Does that make sense?
Yes.
That was probably the biggest thing I learned. And then resilience.
Yeah.
Resilient. Yeah. Biggest thing, resilience. I mean, to get kicked around like that and just beat up and then literally left high and dry where you're jumping on a corporate meeting and then nobody appears and you're like, where do I pick up the pieces? Like, what am I doing? Oh yeah. And then, I mean, it just, and Brightside came about.
The thing that I love about your story though, from the hotel business and then getting everything taken away to Brightside, I know just from experience, you learned so much hospitality in the business and the hotel business. And then you learned what not to do. And so now you're here as an owner with all of this experience of hospitality, how to treat guests, what customers want, and then what not to do as an owner. Tell me how that full circle moment helps you in this season of life right now.
Right. So I mean, truly, like the hotel industry, I always suggest everybody to work into a hotel industry, like service industry in some sort, hotels or restaurants. It just teaches you how to look people in the eye. I'll tell you the biggest thing is looking people in the eye and talking. But then also, in the hotel industry, you're also on the phones a lot. So you're talking on the phone a lot with guests, reservations, all that sort of stuff. So being able to translate that into the business, into the operations sense, like just being able to have a conversation, to shake somebody's hand, like I feel like that's 90% of business sometimes, is literally just being able to shake somebody's hand and talk to them in the eye and let them know like what exactly their needs are. And I also like some of the things like don't try to overprice things. Don't try to, it just, it doesn't, there's no need to do that. I mean, there's a lot of price gouging in this business where I'm like, dude, you like that. And I never speak negative about anybody's company, but there's definitely like, buddy, I could take care of that. You know what I mean? I could take care of that real for you. But like really the transition into hospitality to car detailing honestly was pretty seamless for me, right? Because hotels, I'm working in hotel rooms, right? I'm cleaning rooms, cleaning stains off of things, some of the most disgusting rooms. And Dawn, I could see, I could show you like some of the rooms that was,
we won't dive into that. We won't dive into that.
But like it really translated so much into car detailing, right? Like there's actually certain housekeepers are allotted certain times to clean a room. I allot certain times to detail a vehicle, depending on how it is. So, I mean, there's so many different things that, and this is probably like this in just in life in general, right? Like most businesses can translate on how we could see how they coordinate together and how they could all work together. But making that transition to car detailing was seamless coming from the hotel side.
That's amazing. So tell us about Brightside Detailing. What do you do? Where are you?
Yeah.
The structure. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, so really structure. My wife is the director of sales. She actually still works in hotels. So, being a startup company, she actually makes money. I just pump everything back into the company, right? Like she she pays our bills. I'm growing this so she doesn't have to work here pretty soon, you know? So structure wise, my wife is the director of sales and marketing. That's actually what she does at hotels. She's the director of sales and marketing at a big hotel downtown. And then I run all the operations, so all the day-to-day stuff and everything like that. And so that's really coordinates. And then obviously I have detailers that detail throughout. So where we're at, we are literally from Liberty Hill down to almost Buda and San Marcos.
Oh, you have several locations. How many locations do you have?
So I'm mobile. I'm all mobile.
That's amazing. I love that. I love it.
I'm all mobile. That was one of the things that attracted me towards No H2O. That's how we transitioned, is
Mm,
because I didn't want a brick and mortar. I don't want to pay for that insurance. And I'm detailing cars. Like I don't need a physical location. Life is about convenience now,
mm.
and
So
and
true.
and so being mobile is a lot more than convenient than pulling up into one of your shops and sitting there for an hour and a half waiting for your car to get
Mhm.
detailed. Now you can take your car through a roller and the little spray washes, that's fine, but like we get down and dirty with your vehicle. So but we operate literally from Liberty Hill to Buda, San Marcos. We don't go a whole lot into San Marcos, to literally like Dripping Springs on out to almost Bastrop is where we're located. I do have one physical location that is actually at Austin Bergstrom Airport.
Yes, I
I have
did
a
see
big
that.
Yep, I have a big drop box there. That is that we are there 7 days a week. We don't have somebody that physically works there, but you can drop your keys off, go on your flight, and then come back. There's a whole lock box, and then we send you a code, get your keys out, and then you take off from there. So,
That that is so cool because when I was in preparation for this show, I don't do a lot of research because I want to learn as we go,
mhm.
just like the audience. But I look and I see what's going on, and I had just gotten back from a trip and was like, man, that would have been really nice. We were gone for 3 days to have our car come back clean. It's like when you come back from a
Yeah,
trip, you want your house clean. Why not
yeah.
your car?
Listen, like I, I, so between I'm trying to figure out this marketing. I have this picture in my head. I am not I'm an artist, or my brain doesn't work like that. I'm like a physical, like I get dirty with my hands. I have this picture in my head because I can go anywhere, do anything. When like you're traveling, coming back home with like family, kids, and it's just crazy, and you just like your head, and you just want to take your head and beat it on your car. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But to be able to like step into like a clean car that smells fresh after you
Yes.
travel, after you work, after like all those, and like you just had a really rough day at work. You had a rough day of traveling, and you step into like that good smelling clean car, and you're just like,
Mhm.
it's like getting into like after you've had a really long day, it's like getting into your bed that just has brand new sheets in it. You know what I mean? Like you're
Yes.
just like, oh my
Love
god,
it.
oh my gosh, this feels so much better. So yes, that's the service. That's what we try to provide.
Market to the mothers. We want it. We
Yeah,
want it so much
yeah,
because
yeah.
it's so good. What has been you talked a little bit about at the beginning, one of the reasons you got into to owning your own business was missing holidays and things like
hmm
that came along. So when
hmm
you think about owning your own business, what are some of the perks or vision that you have for your life and the why behind it?
Yeah. So I'm going to take this kind of two ways, right? So I'm just going to do like kind of what everybody says. Yes, you can make your own schedule. You can kind of do those sort of things. You can kind of travel when you want to travel. Also for that, I don't take days off because people are constantly calling me. So even when I'm traveling, I'm I'm getting those phone calls, right? My wife doesn't mind that as much. She's like, I can deal with the phone calls as long as you're not leaving us and the
Yeah.
kids like to go do it. I can deal with the phone calls. So um but with that, like kind of like most scheduling and things like that. Repeat that question back to me because there was something in my head. Sorry.
I asked you, like, what are some of the perks, like, of or freedom or
Thank you.
vision that you have?
Perfect. Sorry, that popped in my head. The
Okay.
perks. Being able to show my children
Mm,
something, you can grow something and do something from nothing. Like
mm,
that to me is like one of the biggest perks. Like being able to show and prove to yourself that you can do something, show your kids, show yourself, show your family that you can build something literally from nothing to something. I think that's like to me the biggest perk. But inside operations, yes, days off, calling in sick. I don't have to worry about calling in sick anymore, man. I just got to make sure the schedule's taken care of, things like that. Definitely, obviously, are huge perks. You make the decisions. I mean, bottom line, I already told you I'm headstrong and I hate taking orders. So being able to make those decisions. But I'll be honest, I think the biggest perk is being able to prove to yourself that you could do something from nothing, and then being able to show really. My kids are my
yeah.
love my kids, but being able to show them like you don't always have to like flow downstream. You can
Mm.
flow upstream and think differently outside of a box. So
Have they noticed, or what is some of their feedback about having daddy and even mommy work together?
um daddy and mommy can disagree a lot on business things. My wife and I, so we can get very frustrated with each other sometimes during the day, and then we have our pillow talk at night where we can actually both understand each other. It's a weird thing. It's like as long as the sun's down and it's dark out, we're laying down on the pillow, we could actually agree on things. For some reason, when the sun's up and maybe we're both hungry. I don't know what it is.
They were both
Maybe
hungry.
maybe we're just vampires or something. I don't know. We fight during the day. Anyways, no. What they've noticed, it's just mommy and daddy are a lot closer. That I think we got our one vision because we wanted to create something special for our family. Um, but and it has drawn my wife and I absolutely closer. And the funny thing is, I didn't mention this. So my wife and I, we met in hotels. So she was
Okay.
our director of sales at the time. I was in AGM and then moved up to GM. But we met in hotels, so we worked together already. So we've had the battles at work. Anybody in operations in sales, we all it's my favorite saying. I didn't come up with the saying. I've just said it over and over again. Salespeople, they sell the dream to people.
Mm.
Operations people, we just live the nightmare, right? Like especially
Oh,
like,
wow.
going in hotels. I don't know who made that up. I'll just claim that I made it up, but I don't think I made that up. But salespeople, they literally sell the dream. We live the nightmare. They, like, especially in hotels. I'm not going to get into hotels, but like, let me tell you, salespeople will be like, yeah, to a wedding group. Oh, you want an elephant in your, in the room and doing like, to take you down the street. And they're like, yeah, we can do that. And then they hand it off to operations. And I'm like, you want me to do what? Like, you are out of your mind. Like, no way. And it's like, operations, like, something
Yeah.
I've learned from hotels, you just make it happen. I don't know how you figure
Yeah.
it out. You just make it happen. So, but yeah, for mommy and daddy, like we've grown closer. And I actually, one of the biggest things for my kids, I think, honestly, is they can see mommy and daddy have a healthy discussion where they disagree on something.
Yeah.
They when we disagree on something and come to a conclusion. So
Who knew
yeah.
entrepreneurship could be marriage counseling too?
Yeah, for sure. It'll test you for sure.
That's so funny. Well, I want to talk about your team because obviously you're not
Mhm.
doing this by yourself and you're mobile.
Yeah.
How does that
Mhm.
work?
So yeah, I mean it's really pretty easy if you think about it. Just like hotels, your housekeeper has a cart full of supplies. My detailers have supplies that I give them. I give them their schedule, couple days out, letting them know this is what we got going on. If there's something big that I need to be there, that's kind of where I jump in and help them out.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, I mean my detailers do and do very, very well for themselves. They legit, they work for about 3 hours, 4 hours a day, and it's
Wow.
almost like, I mean, they get paid for almost basically working like an 8 hour shift. So
Yeah.
it's generally easy. I mean, every car is different. Every car, I honestly, has its own challenges. But yeah, it's really, really kind of, it's an easy job. Plus, they don't have anybody hounding them. You know what
Mm.
I mean? Like, think about it. Like, you can put in your earbuds and listen to music and clean a car and be done, and then walk away. Like that easy. So, but I'm trying to position all of my detailers in certain parts of the area. Like, I don't like to schedule somebody that lives up in Leander to do a job down in Buda. You know what I mean? Like, so
That'd
I
be hard.
really, yeah, scheduling wise, like it can, look like a circus sometimes, like I'm juggling, but for the most part, like it's been able to work out really, really well.
So it's kind of like when, like right now, I'm working from home. Companies that have staff that work from home, you're not really together all the time. So how
Mhm.
do you train and develop new team members or even, help members grow?
So, yeah, that's real easy. Anybody that I bring on, they work with me first. Like, I have a standard that I will not waver from. There's a reason why I have almost all 5-star reviews, and there's 100 plus of them. Is because I have a standard that I will not waver on. I also burn out. Like, that's the thing. I don't like to give my detailers 2 details a day. Burnout factor will happen real quick in this business, especially when you're working in summertime and it's
Oh yeah.
110. And I'm like, hey, you got 2 details today. You're gonna be like, yeah, no, I don't. Um, so really trying to just to kind of manage that. But training wise, like, my training technique is you go through, we go through it together. So what we basically do is we splice the car in half. He does one car, I do the other side of the car, and then he inspects my side, and then I inspect his side. So training wise, we can, he can see what I'm looking for. And then the biggest thing is for me, actually, besides training, like cleaning a car, because let me be honest, like, it doesn't take a rocket science to clean a car, right? The biggest thing for me, for them to learn, is watching me, how I interact with the customer, because that's how
Mm.
I want them to interact with the customer. So training them like that, and I'll tell them when I first show up, like, listen, I can tell you how to detail a car, polish that, get out scratches, do all this. But what you really want to learn from me, which will make your tip grow a lot more, is watch how
Mm.
I interact with the customer.
Yeah.
That is crucial. Crucial.
I mean, that'll speak to so many businesses, especially when you're talking about tipping, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, listen, when you pull up, and if you can make somebody, like, it's going to sound crazy. Well, it's not going to sound crazy. If you can make somebody laugh, right? Like, if you can genuinely make somebody laugh or make them feel good, um, knowing that you're going to be taking care of their 30 to 120 to shoot your Ferraris to Lambos to 350, you make them feel good. Like, when you show up, shake them in the hand, you know, look them in the eye, like, let them know what you're going to be doing, the list that you're going through, all this sort of stuff, and just make them feel good. They might overlook something that you might have missed.
Yeah.
You know
As
what I
a
mean? Like,
customer, I attest to that. That's very
right,
true.
right? Like, and you're not missing something on purpose. It's just, like, hey, sorry, I made a mistake. But if you go in there and you don't say anything to them, like, yeah, I'm gonna take care of this car. Like, don't worry about it. I got this covered. Whatever. And don't really say much. It's like, who's this guy that I'm trusting with my vehicle? Like,
Can't even look me in the eye.
and like, right, like, it's just, yeah, it's just, and then they come out to their car and they're like, they don't know you, they don't even know how to respond to you, like, hey, can and it just goes downhill from there. So teaching them how to interact with people.
Yeah, I worked in the restaurant business, so I got my way through college, and so I can, I can tell when servers say, "Oh, the kitchen forgot your order." I'm like, "No, they didn't. You just forgot to put it in." Kind of too. Don't say the kitchen forgot. Just say you forgot, and I'll be fine. And so I
Yeah.
respect the servers a lot more when they say, I totally forgot that dessert. Okay, well, we'll sit here. I'll get it's fine.
Yeah.
Because I do
No
the same thing.
worries. No
I
worries.
forgot to put that in. Yeah. Yeah. Well, where do you see this going in the future? Like do you see franchise in the future? Because
Yeah.
obviously you have a big dream.
I have a huge dream. Huge dream. Here's the one thing is I don't want to grow too fast, because then you lose your product value and your what am I trying to say? Not product value, but your product control. What your
Yeah.
standards? You start to lose your standards. Um, so and I don't want to franchise. I do not want to franchise at all. Obviously, having that bad taste in my mouth with franchising, I don't want to franchise. So the biggest thing, I want to create a national brand. I think a company that I love how they've done. If you ever look at what's that? It's a Chinese fast food restaurant, Panda Express. Did
Oh
you
yeah.
know none of those are franchises?
No way.
Yeah, yeah. There might be one or two. It's a family owned business, and I was like, man, that is incredible. But yeah, like I don't know how many. I'm pretty sure all of them are not franchises. They might have in the early stages thought about it. I don't know. I started kind of reading his book. Um, but
Okay.
uh, but yeah, none of those majority of, if not all, are all family owned, corporate owned, which I thought is incredible. And that's kind of the direction that I want to take this company is starting to grow here, obviously in Austin. We'll start making our way down to San Antonio here very, very soon. Some really cool news will be coming here in a couple months with Brightside Detailing. So we'll be moving into the San Antonio market, and then eventually we'll just take over Texas, and then we'll start branching off nationally.
That's
That's the goal.
amazing. That's the dream. And you want to see maybe your kids come up through it and keep it that
Yeah,
family.
100%, 100%. I will allow my kids to do whatever it is that they want to do, as long as they work hard and strive to be the best at what they do. So if they want to take over the family business, they can. If at some point where I'm just like, hey, it's been a good run, I'm done. They can either take it over or I sell it off to somebody.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Besides your experience with franchise and that being one of the reasons why you don't want to franchise, why is it important to you? Why is it part of your dream to go national? What will that mean to you?
Oh, really good question. Uh, let's see here. I, hmm. Proving myself that I could do it, and then just creating something that hmm, proving yeah just proving something that I could do it, and something that was just seriously special, and seeing something through of a goal of mine that I've had that I wanted to do. uh yeah, that was a good question. That one struck something in me.
I was about to say you got a little emotional there. So
Yeah,
there's something really important to you.
it there is, like, it really, really is, like, just doing something just extraordinary that is completely out of the box, that I think so many people have said that I probably that have told me that I couldn't do that it wouldn't work, that you wouldn't be that successful at something. Like, yeah,
Hmm.
it lit a fire up underneath my ass, and saying, sorry, I cussed there.
It's okay.
um Lit a fire up underneath my butt to say, you know what, like, watch me,
Watch me.
watch me, so yeah, I mean, I've been down and out my whole entire life sometimes, and battling through things is just a part of something I do. So creating something big and huge that I can literally look back on and just say, wow, that was a hell of a
Yeah.
ride. That's what's important.
Yeah. It's more than just a job. It's
It
it's it's a
100%,
mission. It's almost like a life
100%.
mission.
It is 100%.
I think that's the difference between you and a lot of others is
Yeah.
that you're not just here to make a paycheck. You're here to make a
Nope.
difference, it sounds like.
100%. 100%.
Yeah. What would
Mhm.
it mean to you to finally say, honey, you don't have to work in the hotel business anymore?
Oh, oh, we be busting out some champagne, I'll tell you that. Holy crap. If I said that to my wife, she oh my gosh. I mean, here's the deal. Is my wife has carried a lot of the burden, obviously, with the bills and things like that, like doing a startup company and things, and losing all of our nest egg, like from these decisions. Is She's been carrying that load financially for a very, very long time. So
Yeah.
to honestly, to be able to say to my wife, hey, babe, like you don't have to do this anymore. Like you could quit. Like I honestly, I don't even know, besides champagne, like those words being able to come out of my mouth, I so much look forward to that day. I really, really do, to look forward to that day and to see her facial expressions, because I'll have cameras set up everywhere that I don't even know how to set up because it's technology. But I'll have cameras set up everywhere, like, hey, you don't have to work anymore. You literally, you don't have to work anymore. Can't wait. Can't wait.
How close are you to it, do you think?
3 to 5 years. 3 years. 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That actually
Yeah.
is one of my questions I like to ask people is where do you see yourself in 3 to 5 years?
5 years all over Texas. Maybe, well, 3 to 5 years over Texas. Sorry, 3 years, I think, over Texas. 5 years starting to branch into other areas of the country.
Wow. I
Mhm.
love your big dream and I love your
Mhm.
passion for it. I don't see
Mhm.
that all the time. I see it a lot for sure on this
Yeah,
show. People want to
yeah,
share their story, but there's very rarely do I see so much passion of the why is your family and building something it's a legacy. You're building a
yep,
legacy, not just a job, a
100%,
legacy. Yeah.
100%. I
I love
know,
it
I
so much.
know, I know. Me too, me too. And it's just car detailing, right? Like
Yeah.
it's awesome.
But not to
Like
you.
that's what's awesome. No, it's not. It's not at all. So
Yeah. Especially when people name their cars, it might not be to them either.
nope, not at all. Nope. No, that's my demographic. Someone that names their car. Let me
Yes,
take care of that for you. Let me
exactly.
take care of that.
Well, before we get into the rapid fire questions, what's the one thing you want everyone to know that maybe we haven't covered about Brightside Detailing?
um, whew, well, obviously we're a family-owned business. We are not a franchise. A lot of times you get to see the owner right working alongside of all of his detailers. So uh, we care about our product, we care about our company, we care about our customers. Um, and no challenge is too big for us. So if we can do it, we'll tell you. If we can't, we'll let you know. We don't nickel and dime, and we're a fun company to work with and work for.
I love it. I love it. All right, let's get into some fun rapid fire questions real quick.
Mhm.
Ready?
Hit me.
Okay. What is the key to success for you?
Resilience.
Hmm. You've definitely had that for sure.
It's resilience, man. It's resilience.
Yeah. Okay. What is the one piece of advice you would give to other business owners?
Somebody said this to me, and I will say this to other business owners, and I think it rings true, and it's so simple. Whoever stays in it the longest wins.
Wow. I'm writing that down. Whoever stays the longest wins. That's really true.
It
Especially when you
is
believe in
like,
it.
sorry, you cut out right there. What would you
Oh,
say?
I was gonna say, especially
Oh,
when it's such a big vision and you believe in it.
yes, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But I mean, it's just, like here's and this is why I say this, it's like I don't know how many of the other franchises that were still going. I don't think any of them are really going except for maybe one, maybe two. Um, and that, I mean, that's why we battled out and created what we created. But it's like whoever stays in it the longest wins, man. Whoever stays in it wins.
I
So
like it.
yeah.
Needs to be on a bumper sticker, I want to say. So you can put it on
Sorry,
the
it's cut.
card.
All right, sorry.
Oh, can you hear me?
Oh,
Okay.
sorry, you cut. Yeah, it just cut out for a second. Sorry.
Oh, well, I was going to say you need to put that in a
You're
bumper
good.
sticker so you can put it on all the cars you detail.
Right, right. Oh, for today, what a great idea.
Sell
Brightside
those.
Detailing. Whoever stays on it wins. Stays in it the longest wins. It's a great idea. I'm stealing that from you. You're not trademarking that from me.
It's yours. It's yours. As long as I get a bumper sticker, you can have it. All right, book or podcast?
Yeah,
What are you listening
right.
to right now?
Uh, I do some podcasts. The most recent book I listen to. So I do books on tape
Oh yeah,
or books on.
audio. You're in
That's
the car a
kind of
lot,
because I'm
so.
so much.
Mhm.
I'm in the car a lot. I'm moving a lot. So books on tape. The 48 Laws of Power or Power 48 Laws of Power. I can't remember which one that. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I could look it up. But yeah, 48 Laws of Power was the most recent book I read. Also, the most most recent one is I so this is going to sound like kind of crazy. It's not really like a the easy way to quit smoking. I use that to quit dipping.
Oh yeah.
Uh
Did it
I've been
work?
chewing to it did. I have not chewed tobacco for almost a year now. And we're talking like a
Congratulations.
lifelong. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, a lifelong. Well, I've been chewing tobacco since I was like 13, 14 years old.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Wife hated it. She's like, man, this is amazing. I can kiss you whenever I want and don't have to look at your lip. So yeah. Those two books are the most recent ones that I have read. So
That's good. Awesome. All right, this is a fun one. If you had a little bit of magic dust and you could sprinkle it in any area, one area of your business, where would it be?
time.
Mm,
Time I feel it's like a cliche, but I feel like every small business owner like feels that like I
yeah.
just need a little bit more time during the day, because if I could free up my time a little bit more, I could put it in this area, I could put it in that area. So it's just time, really.
Yeah, I totally get that. Yeah.
Hmm.
All right, before we get to the last question of the day, tell everyone how they can find you on social media or even book you for detailing.
Yeah, you could go onto our website, brightsidedetailing.com. If you're going through the airport, you could actually go through the airport Blue Garage parking. If you're booking your parking, you can find us through there. We are on social media at Brightside Detailing. And yeah, like me on LinkedIn, all the social media sites, Instagram and things like that. But you can also always give me a call. At at our website. Thanks.
Okay. Got it. Love it. I'm going to put that all in the show notes. So if anyone's listening right now, they can go and click away. All right.
Yeah.
Last question of the day. What is most inspiring you today?
Children,
Mm,
kiddos, man, kiddos. I think I said it earlier. That's what it inspires me to create the legacy, and to show all the naysayers that hey, man, watch me, look what I did. So,
yeah.
right. Mhm.
That's always important. How old are they?
4 and 2. I know it sounds crazy that that's what I'm showing, but it's 4 and 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll leave a great legacy. I love it.
Yeah.
Well,
Actually, sorry, 5 and 2. Oh my gosh. Sorry.
we all do that. We all do that. No shame. All parents do that. We even say, "What's your name?" So no shame.
Love it. Love it. Love
Yeah.
it.
Well, I love this show and I love that you're so passionate about it. Thank you for sharing
Yeah.
your story. It's been just so good. And I just want to encourage everyone that's watching today, maybe to save this episode and come back because Brent really did give a lot of not only just wise nuggets, but shared really why it's important for entrepreneurs, like you said, to be crazy sometimes and to go after and show people what you can and leave a legacy. So
Absolutely.
also don't forget to like and subscribe so you can get a notification every time a new show drops, just like this one. Well, Brent, special thank you to you. I really appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thanks for being on the show.
Hey, absolutely.
All right. Until
Thank you.
next time. Thank you. Bye.